Hold up, did Tiny Harris just nuke the Harris family legacy live on air? Because if even half her tea is legit, King Harris and his daddy T aren't just hip-hop royals, they're moonlighting in something way darker. We're talking gangs, guns, and side hustles ripped straight out of a Netflix cartel doc. Seriously, are we all supposed to buy that those midnight studio marathons were just about music? Word is, Tiny let it slip that behind those soundproof doors, it wasn't beats and bars, it was business. The illegal kind. And with a brand new, leaked clip making rounds online, fans are convinced King and Tip weren't chasing streams. They were running a whole operation. Internet meltdown level. Maximum. So is this just another clout-chasing stunt? Or did Tiny low-key expose a father-son empire stitched together with street deals and silence? Because let's be real, the way she dropped it, icy, calm, and clearly done covering, it didn't play like gossip. It hit like a confession. And the juiciest part, insiders swear this dark little family secret explains every cryptic post, every deleted story, and every one of King's random blow-ups lately. Those cryptic posts, the vanishing stories, and King Harris's random meltdowns. Yeah, something's cracking wide open, and it's nastier than anyone bargained for. So let's rewind the circus from the top, because this isn't some petty family spat. Nope. This is a Hollywood meets street corner drama nobody saw coming. The Harris clan has always been sold as hip-hop royalty. T, crown king of the South. Tiny, the eternal ride or die queen, and King Harris, the flashy heir who lives for the spotlight. But if whispers close to Tiny are on point, that polished throne might have been built on something far more dangerous. Tiny didn't just oops her way into spilling this. She snapped completely. What should have been a casual live stream chat flipped into a bombshell confessional. Her tone? Not casual. Not playful, different. Heavy. Like a woman choking on secrets she's carried for years. People don't even know half of what's been happening. She dropped, her voice shaking just enough to make the internet freeze and believe every single word. They thought it was all about beats and fame, but now some of these moves weren't industry at all. Cue internet meltdown. Within minutes, the comment section was straight fire. What did she mean by moves? Was she shading King Harris? Dragging T? Fans hit rewind like detectives, screen recording every second and dissecting it frame by frame like CSI. Instagram. Tiny never dropped names, but the way she hesitated before spitting out these moves. Please. The dots practically connected themselves. And then boom, the leaked clip landed. A grainy, shaky video, supposedly showing King Harris in a parking lot, flanked by a crew of guys who looked nothing like hype dancers. Music blasting. But over it came one sound nobody could miss. That metallic click every gangster flick cues right before chaos. The internet froze. Was that a gun? Was this legit? Hours later, hashtags exploded. Harris family scree, hashtag Tiny tells Saul. Blogs swarmed like vultures. Tiny exposes T and King's gang connections. One headline screamed. Another swore the footage proved King was knee-deep in shady deals. Just like that, the Harris name, once shining with Grammys and BET Awards, was now tangled with whispers of racketeering, firearms, and undercover ops. And trust me, it was only getting uglier from there. And then it got crazier. Tiny's so-called confession wasn't some random slip-up. Insiders say she's been over it for ages, done with covering reputations, done with sweeping mistakes under the rug. And this wasn't even the first time whispers about King Harris's street ties made noise. Flashback to 2022, unverified. Chatter claimed King was spotted with Atlanta gang affiliates, pulling up to underground parties and flashy rides, ducking out just before the cops showed. Back then, everybody laughed it off. Typical King, right? Loud, rebellious, always stirring chaos. But now that Tiny is speaking out, suddenly, those dusty old rumors sound a lot less like gossip and a lot more like receipts. So the digging began. Old photos resurfaced, King posing with sketchy friends, some throwing signs that definitely weren't peace and love. Then came his cryptic IG posts. You only know half the story, or they don't want me to tell the truth. Fans brushed it off as teenage drama at the time. But today, those captions hit completely different. And then the internet's jaws dropped again. A supposed leaked message thread between Tiny and some anonymous contact. Screenshots read like a soap opera script. He's getting into deep. Tip needs to step in before something bad happens. Real or fake, the internet couldn't care less. Those screenshots went nuclear. People swore Tiny wasn't talking about petty family drama, she was warning about actual danger. And while the world spiraled, T.I. stayed radio silent. No posts, no interviews, not even a slick motivational quote. For a man who never shuts up, that silence screamed louder than words. Speculation took over. Maybe the Og was scrambling with lawyers. Maybe he knew the truth and was trying to bury it. Some fans whispered he was drafting a family statement. But let's be real, when the scandal's this toxic, no press release is saving the crown. By now, the Harris empire looked like it was flatlining. Sponsors quietly backed out. Endorsement deals evaporated. PR teams burned out their keyboards. Even longtime industry friends kept their distance. Nobody wanted their name dragged into a gang firestorm. And just when you thought Tiny might cool off, she lit the fuse again. Days later, a cryptic Insta story appeared. You can love someone and still be tired of the lies. One line, and boom, the chaos reignited.
He even claimed T.I. left him to struggle in the hood. But here's the kicker.
Or detonating on both? Fans went berserk in the comments. Fans went feral in the comments. She's shading T, for sure. Nope. This is about her son. Tiny's exposing the whole dynasty. As the chaos hit peak volume online, King Harris did what King Harris always does, he doubled down. Instead of hiding or setting the record straight, he hopped on IG Live, grinning, puffing smoke, flexing hard. Y'all believe anything, he sneered, waving it off like a bad rumor. But the chat wasn't buying it. Why so defensive, King? You look guilty, bro. That video wasn't fake. The crowd wasn't convinced, and that's when the spiral hit overdrive. Out of nowhere, another leak dropped. Not video this time, audio. Voices muffled, but familiar. And one of them sounded an awful lot like T. The vibe was tense, the words even worse. Shipment, handling business, keep him quiet. The quality was trash, but the internet didn't care. They heard shipment and instantly screamed drugs. They heard keep him quiet, and suddenly it was a full-blown cover-up thriller. Meanwhile, gossip blogs were already spinning their own narrative. Tiny isn't done, she's lining up a tell-all interview. And it could blow the Harris empire wide open. Some even swear Tiny Harris has already been courted by a major talk show for a primetime tell-all. And let's be honest, after this circus, who wouldn't tune in to hear her spill? The whispers just keep multiplying. Gang TIs, shady side hustles, and alleged links to street crews in Atlanta. It's not just talk. One so-called insider told a gossip site, they're mixed up with people you don't mess with. Overdramatic? Maybe. Believable? Absolutely, especially with how twisted this saga keeps getting. At this point, nobody knows how deep the rabbit hole really goes. But one thing's for sure, the Harris name will never echo the same again. And just when fans thought the scandal had peaked, enter the next act, the dreaded investigation. Officially confirmed? Not at all. But when has that ever stopped the internet from running wild? Within days, a so-called exclusive drops from a random YouTube insider, alleging law enforcement has been tracking shady money moves tied to the Harris family. We're talking unusual withdrawals, bizarre purchases, and cryptic code words that send imaginations into a frenzy. Bloggers went full conspiracy mode, connecting dots that probably didn't even exist. One pointed out T recently sold an Atlanta property through a private trust. Another claimed King Harris was spotted linking up with someone whose street reputation screams red flag. Known in street circles, the whispers spread so fast, the line between fact and fiction basically evaporated. But here's the kicker, nobody even cares what's real anymore. Chaos sells. Scandal feeds the crowd. And this Harris family meltdown, it's serving like wildfire. Then came the so-called exclusive interview. Not CNN. Not Oprah. A random channel with barely 5,000 subs drops what they claim is a leaked voice memo from someone posing as Tiny's close friend. The voice? Chilling. Tiny been covering for King since he was 15. T told her to let him be a man. But it got too deep. Guns, deals, and people you don't want to cross. Within hours, the clip explodes, millions of views, news blogs snatching it up, podcasters dissecting every second. Social media does what it always does, rips the whole family to shreds. And if that audio's legit, it paints a terrifying picture, Tiny living in fear and T practically handing his son over to the streets. No wonder she finally broke her silence. Meanwhile, T has ghosted. No comments. No interviews, no live appearances. The self-proclaimed king of the South is suddenly mute, and that silence is deafening for a man who once spammed the internet with daily motivational quotes. T's sudden silence feels less like peace and more like strategy, and of course, the internet twisted that into full-blown conspiracy. Is he hiding something? Why hasn't he defended his wife? Are the feds circling? No answers, just speculation, and speculation is all it takes to light a fire. Then, just as the chaos hit boiling point, another leak detonated. This time, crystal clear video. Inside what looks like a studio back room, King Harris is caught mid-argument with someone off camera. His tone? Furious. His words? Brutal. "You think you can run this city without my name attached?" He snaps. The clip cuts off with a loud bang, not a gunshot, but a door slam, and that was enough to blow headlines wide open. Instantly, people branded it proof King's tied up in something darker. Theories flew. Maybe he's riding with a local crew. Maybe he's fronting for his dad's secret empire. TikTok detectives dissected every frame like it was FBI evidence. Some swore they spotted gang symbols scrawled in the background. Others zoomed in on a luxury duffel bag, insisting it looked exactly like the kind used for shady cash drops. And while the internet drowned in wild theories, Tiny fanned the flames herself. More cryptic posts, broken heart pics, betrayal quotes, and then the dagger and Instagram story with one chilling line: "Everything done in the dark comes to light." Then boom, the insider list drops. Out of nowhere, an anonymous Reddit account posts a roster of names: local promoters, business partners, random artists, all allegedly tied to King Harris's crew. Half the people on it have never even met him. But who cares? The internet gobbles it up like gospel truth. Suddenly, the evidence is stacking sky high. Fake screenshots, edited clips, doctored voice notes. Each leak more theatrical than the last. One even swears T pulled strings to bail King out after a police run-in earlier this year. Proof? Zero. But come on, who needs proof when the scandal's this delicious? By now, it's everywhere. Podcasts, talk shows, gossip blogs, they're all feasting on the Harris downfall. Headlines scream, "The Harris empire is crumbling." Another sneers, "The downfall of the king's kingdom." Even celebs can't resist tossing shade. A family friend posts vague heartbreak emojis. One producer tweets, "Atlanta ain't what it used to be." Another rapper slides under a gossip post with the brutal line, "When you play street, the street plays you." And then Tiny breaks her silence again. Not a live, not a sit down, just one chilling post that stops everyone mid-scroll. Black background, white text, "I love my family, but I can't protect lies anymore." The internet detonates. Fans flood her comments. Is she divorcing T? Did she just confess? Some even swear she's been spotted with a well-known journalist. TM-style blogs waste no time, teasing an upcoming exclusive reveal like the trailer for the end of the Harris dynasty. Behind the curtain, whispers say T is raging. Some insiders claim he's been blowing up PR teams non-stop, desperate to spin the narrative. Others insist he's gearing up to sue blogs for defamation. But let's be real, the damage is already baked in. The Harris name isn't trending for music, awards, or shows. It's trending for one thing: a gang scandal, and the internet's chosen villain. King Harris, the kid who once tried so hard to stand apart from his dad, is now painted as the wrecking ball smashing their whole legacy to pieces. Memes are everywhere, one with T in his crown video, another slapping King's face on a police lineup board. The captions? Savage. From King of the South to King of the Streets, royalty turned reality show. But here's the kicker: everyone's glossing over Tiny's so-called confession might not have been just about her son. Insiders believe she was dragging both of them, father and son, allegedly tangled in something far darker than ego or fame. Then came the so-called smoking gun, a whistleblower email posted to a gossip forum. It alleged the Harris men were knee-deep in off-the-record deals hidden through Entertainment Ti's underground connections, shady security operations, untraceable cash. Straight out of a Netflix cartel doc, and that's exactly why the internet ate it up, which is exactly what makes it believable. The internet thrives on conspiracy, and this saga's got the full package: power, family, betrayal, and guns. Suddenly, people are asking if this is why Tiny finally snapped. Did she hit her breaking point? After watching her husband and son sink into chaos she couldn't control? Did she try to stop it? Was she pressured into silence? What once looked like loyalty now reeks of guilt. Meanwhile, the Harris empire is unraveling in plain sight. King Harris goes dark, no posts. T quietly unfollows a handful of industry allies. Tiny herself wipes dozens of old family photos, erasing her own history one post at a time. It's like watching a dynasty delete itself in real time, and just when the fire couldn't burn hotter. A so-called government source whispers to a shady gossip blog, federal eyes are tracking multiple celebrity families for financial misconduct. No direct mention of the Harrises, but the timing? Way too on the nose. Fans instantly connect the dots. The headlines flare up again. Tiny Harris's confession sparks federal heat, federal attention. Are the Harrises officially being watched? At this stage, there's no rewind button. Even if every rumor turned out fake, perception has already become reality. Type in T, King Harris or Tiny Harris, and what do you see? Gang TIs, leaks, secrets, stains that won't wash off, and just when it seems like the chaos might finally cool down, boom, another clip resurfaces. Grainy old, but deadly viral fuel. King in a studio, sitting right next to T, both of them laughing. But in the background, a voice, clear enough to chill spines. We run Atlanta for real. Nobody knows who said it, but that one line was enough to light the internet on fire all over again. Now the question ricochets everywhere: was it just a reckless joke, or the ugly truth hiding in plain sight?